This is a woman who ran on getting Trump before she even knew anything about the Trump Organization. She made good on a campaign promise, and she used Judge Engoron to help her facilitate that promise.
That's Alina Habba shredding New York AG Letitia James on Fox News and discussing some unconventional options they have for addressing the ridiculous fine issued by Judge Engoron. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish. Today we're going to take a few minutes to break down this clip and highlight some grounds Trump may have to file an appeal, including prosecutorial misconduct on behalf of Letitia James, who is clearly biased.
Any Hail Mary pass that circumvents the reality that that money has to be paid, whether it's in a bond or in cash, before you can go to the appellate process. Is there any workaround at all?
So there's a couple things, right? And I'll speak generally. You can post a bond, which is an option. You can tell the judge that you should set aside the verdict because it's insane, which this is.
Will you be asking him to do that?
Those options are on the table. I will never show my cards, Martha. You know I'm too good to do that. One thing I can tell you is that her goal of tearing down the Trump Organization, her goal of tearing down the individuals that work so hard, including on his campaign, his family, and the list goes on, her goal is frankly not going to succeed. That's all I'm willing to say.
What did you make of the fact that she said, you know, when she was sort of guessing how he may come up with this money or what he might choose to sell off, she said, well, I look up at 40 Wall Street every single day.
Yes, and that chip on her shoulder is why we're here today.
Habba is absolutely correct about James here. She's a political hack with a chip on her shoulder, and it might help Trump appeal this case. I believe today is the day that Trump's going to file the appeal. He started it Friday, and I think they had to get some paperwork done. But here's Fox 5 saying that the appeal will likely focus on tangible and overwhelming bias and objections to the legal mechanics involved in James's lawsuit.
If she thinks she is going to take him down, if that was her goal, which we all know very well it was, and she got a strong assist there in court, but I will tell you this, it will not be successful. We've seen it happen time and time again. Look at what's happening in Georgia. Look at what's happening with Miss James going to Washington right before she files the complaint. We have proof of that now. We're not talking about it because it's so damaging. This is all political. There's actually no factual basis to it. And I'm really looking forward to everybody seeing our record on appeal. I hope they take the time to read it so that they can get a window into what are the facts. They've done nothing wrong. There were no victims and everyone made money.
Now, of course, Letitia James has said time and time again that there's no bias. Here she is playing the victim for the media a few weeks into the case.
He's called me venomous. He's called me disgraceful. He's called me radical. He's called me a racist. And this is only week 3.
So what were those accusations again? Radical, disgraceful, and venomous? Yeah, I don't know where he would get those ideas from. I mean, you only called him an illegitimate president, ran on a Get Trump agenda, said he's too white, and talked about seizing his assets. I can't imagine why he'd say that about you.
We will fight back to your attempt to bring Trumpism to New York City. Of the fact that they stole the Supreme Court seat. An illegitimate president and an illegitimate member of the United States Supreme Court. Listen, we know he's crazy. We know he doesn't have a sound mind. We know he's out of control. We know he's losing it. We know his days are numbered and we will come together. We've got to stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale.
Well, on the bright side, at least Trump will always have a place to stay because he's living rent-free in this woman's deranged mind, or what's left of it at least. Now, like I said, the appeal is supposed to be filed today, and I imagine it'll take some time to figure out what grounds it's being made on, but I just can't see how any of this can possibly stand. But let me know what you think. Will Trump win the appeal? Will Judge Engoron and Letitia James's Trump derangement syndrome cost them this case? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!